All right, today we are making beer battered fish tacos. We got some fresh caught black bass fillets, and that's what we're going to be using on this. We got some pre-seasoned beer batter, Louisiana seasoned, and we got a little bit of beer to put in it. What I like about the beer battered fish is it's a little different than just doing it in regular flour. The carbonation from the beer really makes it an interesting batter that you get on the fish. So put the whole bag in there, move that around. I like to have it well seasoned, so I'm going to put some more seasoning in there. I'm going to put some garlic powder, salt, and pepper. A little bit of salt, some black pepper, or sorry, this is the garlic powder and black pepper. And the first thing you do when making a beer batter is sample your product. Yep, that'll work. Now we're just going to pour it in there. Foams up, it's okay. You want it just about like a pancake batter. We'll get a whisk and mix that up a little bit. Actually, we'll do it with a fork. Preheat the skillet, we'll get the oil going. The key with frying stuff that I've found is you want to make sure your skillet's hot enough. If it's not hot enough, whatever you're cooking tends to sit there and just soak up all the oil and not get a good crust on it. So you want to make sure it's good and hot, probably about 375, 400, something like that. So the fish we have today, we caught at our local lake here, New Hogan Reservoir. The temperature of the water when we caught these was about 75 degrees. And so the fish should be good eating. It's good clear water. It's not muddy, murky water. Some people don't like eating largemouth black bass, but I do. So that's a consistency you want to get, about something like that, just so I can coat real good on the fillets. Just like a pancake batter, you want to make sure you don't have too many of the clumps in there. All right. Most of the oil is regular vegetable oil, but I also added in some cayenne infused artisan chili oil. Give it a little kick. So, should just be able to take our fillets. I also season the fillets with a little bit of salt and pepper. Take those, dredge them in the beer batter. Make sure they're covered well. Key too is you want to drain off the excess, because the excess will just mess your oil all up and have a bunch of clumps of batter in there. You don't want that. When you drop it in, you always want to drop in hot oil, you want to drop it away from you so you don't get burned. I'll just get the fork underneath of it because I don't want it on the bottom of the pan. I want it floating. And that's just what you want, that bubble, almost like bacon frying. That way it cooks at the right speed and it's not soaking up too much of the oil. And as far as duration, should take about 3 minutes per side, roughly. Another thing I always check for my fillets, I want to make sure I get all the bones out. This has got a little piece of bone here in the end. I'm going to cut that out. You don't want somebody who's never tried fish before to take a nice big bite of a fish and get a bone, because they're not going to want to eat fish again. Drop it away. Get the fork under there so it floats. It's a little messy. You get a little beer batter between you and the frying pan, but it's alright, it'll clean up. So the first one's just about ready to flip, getting nice and brown. Check it. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Give it a little flip. And the second one is probably just about ready too, because it's a little bit smaller. Another 30 seconds or so on that one, it'll be ready too. What you want to do is get you either some paper towels or newspaper. You can set the fillets on so it soaks up some of the leftover oil. Okay, so the second one's ready to flip. Like I said, it doesn't take that long if your oil's at the right temperature. Make sure this is still good. Oh yeah. Getting there. It should have a nice little hard tap to it when it's cooked. You should have a nice little crust on the outside. The beer batter should crust up nice. And this one, the first one's just about done. And the second one's actually just about done too. It's a lot smaller fillet. Probably the smaller one's probably the fish my son Dominic caught. I'm sure the bigger one was mine. Okay, and the first one is done. Give it one more turn, make sure they're crisp on both sides. The excess oil, drain off, and put it on the paper towel. Same with this little first one. Let it drain off. A paper towel. We'll get some paper towel on the top of it, blot it off a little bit. Then we'll get our other fillet in there. Oil's nice and hot now. You can hear it popping and bubbling. That's what you want. Get your fork under there. Make sure it's not sticking to the pan. It's not now. It's good to go. All right. So we'll get the rest of these fried up and we'll get back to you. So this is what you want to have on the outside of that fillet. You want a nice crispy fillet. And that's what we got. All right. The fillets are done. Now we're going to do some onion rings. And the beer batter works great for onion rings as well. So we got those cut up and we're going to get them dipped in the batter, coated real well, and then we'll get those in there, see what they look like fried up. Same thing as the fillets, you want to make sure they don't stick to the bottom of the pan. And they actually won't take but about maybe 45 seconds on each side or so. Try not to crowd them because they'll stick together. And I've actually crowded these a little too much, but it'll work. When frying anything, what you got to watch out for is moisture. Any kind of moisture that comes out of whatever you're frying can, cause the oil to splatter and get on you. So these onions have a little bit of moisture in them from the water, and the fillets have a little bit of moisture in them as well. But you try to blot them both off with a paper towel to get them as dry as you can before you put them in the batter. All right, we've got our fish and onion rings all fried up. We're gonna make a little cabbage to go in the tacos. I like to do a little bit of onion, chopped up. In the bowl. This is called curly cabbage. They're generally a little smaller and they've got a little different texture to them. They're more veiny, but they work really good on tacos. Cut the core out. Then you just cut it up in however small you want it to be on your tacos. Don't need the whole thing. I don't like cutting it too small. We'll put some lemon in there and some lime juice. I roll the lemon first to get all the juice ready to go. Take the seed out. And I like lime or lemon on my tacos juice. I think it brings out the flavors of the whatever you have in the taco. Put a little lime juice in there. A little salt and pepper. Let it soak up that juice a little bit. We'll put that in the fridge. Now I'll show you the sauce I like to put on my fried fish. It's a simple sauce. It's a mayonnaise base. So we'll throw in about half a cup of mayo. Salt and pepper. A little lime juice, not much. And you can use whatever you prefer. I used to make it with ketchup. Now I use barbecue sauce. This is Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. I prefer original Bullseye barbecue sauce, but any of these sauces will work, barbecue sauce or ketchup. And whatever your favorite ketchup is, or favorite barbecue sauce is, that's what you should use. That all mixed up. All right, here's the finished product on the fish and the onion rings. So the fish, the first go around, we did all black bass, and before we could even make our tacos, most of it was gone because the whole family kept coming in and picking them. So I had a defrosted bag of halibut we caught in the San Francisco Bay, and that's what we cooked up here. Beautiful flaky white meat, really good stuff. So that's what we'll put our tacos together with. All right, so here's our finished product. I like in my tacos, I like sour cream, cheese. Of course, we got our sauce that we made here with the mayo-based sauce. We got our fish fillet underneath there. We got some hot salsa. We have our cabbage and a little bit of avocado. There's my fish tacos. Thanks.